Hello, I'm Keith Myers, and today we're going to talk about minimum charges and what they mean to shippers. I'm a senior consultant here at Shipware and looking forward to reviewing this. As far as what we're going to talk about, we'll start with what minimum charges are, and then we'll discuss how they work and really why you should be concerned about them, because they do matter and they can matter a lot. Best way to define a minimum charge is it's going to be the lowest rate that a shipper will pay to ship a product. Every single service for UPS and for FedEx has a minimum charge, and how those are defined varies by services. But typically, it's going to be based off of the least expensive current list rate for that service. So for example, if you're looking at Ground or UPS SurePost or FedEx SmartPost, the starting point for that will be the Zone 2 1-pound rate, and then typically there are further adjustments from there. If you're looking at UPS Next Day Air or the matching service for FedEx Priority Overnight, then it's the Zone 102 for UPS or the Zone 2 for FedEx 1-pound rate. Letters and envelopes, it's the same idea, Zone 102 or Zone 2, but it's just the rate. The weight is irrelevant, of course. The weights for letters and envelopes aren't factored into that. And for import and export, it's going to be the 1-pound rate for the import and export zone. So it's going to vary for every individual zone. There'll be a different minimum charge. The zone definitions are slightly different between UPS and between FedEx. So, and it's again, this is where you start, and then there'll be reductions off of those, as we'll see as we look at the next page here and discuss what the minimum looks like on your actual agreement. So FedEx and UPS have set up their agreements differently. FedEx groups their minimum charges with the corresponding service. So if you see on the left, this top section is from the ground services. So you see you have ground domestic single piece, you have home delivery domestic single piece, the applicable zones, and the minimum charge associated with that zone. Then down below, we have the domestic express, a subset of services from there. You see priority overnight, envelope, pack overnight, et cetera. You have the minimum charge, Zone 2 envelope, Zone 2 1-pound, and then the reduction off of that minimum. So keep in mind, it says reduction. So for priority overnight envelope, the minimum charge is not $10.50. It is $10.50 less than whatever the Zone 2 envelope rate is. UPS over on the right, they group their minimums by domestic and international. So this is the domestic minimum section that you would see on your agreement. So you can see you've got the express services listed first, and then ground, commercial, and residential down at the bottom. Same kind of idea. You can see the ground rate for the ground minimum is Zone 2 1-pound for commercial and residential. And then for the express services, same thing. It's the 102 1-pound rate, and then there's an adjustment off of that. So, and that adjustment's 55%. Same logic applies as FedEx. So that's the minimum charge you would pay would be 55% less than the Zone 102 1-pound rate. And how this works, so there's a lot of numbers thrown at you there, but really I think the best way to do this is to show a simple example how the minimum charge really comes into play. So what we're going to talk about is a 10-pound ground shipment that's going to Zone 4 with a 50% discount on FedEx. So if you look in your service guide, you would see that the FedEx Zone 4 10-pound rate is $13.27. And if you have a 50% discount on that, then you would pay $6.64 for that shipment. However, the Zone 2 1-pound rate, which is the minimum charge that we looked at from the previous slide, is $8.23. So this shipper in this example, this customer in this example, would pay $8.23. They would not pay that $6.64. So effectively, they're only getting a 38% discount instead of that contracted 50% discount. Essentially, they're paying about 24% higher than what they would if the minimums weren't in place. And something to think about, if that customer went to FedEx and said, hey, I want to improve my rates, FedEx came back and said, great, we're going to give you a 65% discount on this shipment. How much would they save? They'd save absolutely nothing if they don't do anything about that minimum charge. They would still pay $8.23. That's really how the minimums can impact what a customer is paying. prevents you from getting the full benefit of that discount. And another way to illustrate this is looking at some net rates. So if you're a near zone shipper, so a lot of your products are going 150, 200, 300 miles away where your customer base is, or if you're shipping a lot of lightweight products, then that minimum charge is really going to be important. So this example are the net rates for if you have a 40% ground discount with FedEx. And you can see all these shipments, all these rates that are shaded in red, $8.23. You're not getting the full benefit of your discounts in this example. You're not getting that full 40%, you're getting less than that. So if you're a zone 2, zone 3 shipper, your products are up to 14 pounds, you're not getting that full discount, even all the way out to 20 pounds for zone 2. If you're shipping lightweight packages, so 3 pounds or less, not getting the full 40%. You're gonna pay $8.23 no matter where you're going in the country. So it's important to really be aware of what those minimums can do to your rates. And the other thing, if you're trying to find out, did I pay a minimum on an invoice? It's not the easiest thing to figure out. It is a little bit, FedEx is a little more transparent than UPS is. And I've got screenshots for the two here. So you can see on the left, FedEx has a very simple sentence. It says net charge represents minimum package charge for this parcel. That's FedEx saying you did not get your full discount, the minimum charge came up, and that's what we're reflecting here. UPS has their invoices structured a little bit differently. They have these invoice message codes that they use to show what changes were made or what rating logic was applied to each individual shipment. So for UPS, they have this message code called AG, which means minimum rates applied. I have no idea what AG stands for, but it means minimum rates applied for UPS. So if you see that message code at the bottom of your shipment, then you'll know same thing. You did not get the full benefit of that discount. You had to pay the minimum charge. You can see from this example, you can see the $8.23. They only got about a 6% discount instead of 35, 40% that would be on their contract. Now that you understand kind of what they are and how to find them, what do you do about them? So first thing you want to do is understand how many of your shipments are getting impacted by those minimum charges. If you're a heavy ground shipper or you do a lot of SurePost and SmartPost shipments, then those minimum charges are really going to come into play. Express shippers, it can happen as well, but it's not quite as common. You still want to go through and work the math, particularly if you're sending a lot of light packages express. And once you get all that quantified, then it's important to know these minimum charges are negotiable, just like everything else on an agreement. Put that information together and get to your carrier and say, look, I've learned that 30% of my shipments aren't getting the full discount. I need to get a concession on my minimum charge. Thank you for listening and learning about minimum charges. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at inquiries@shipware.com. Thank you and have a great day.